folks. Thanks for joining me today. So, I'm really excited about this particular rock. So, this is an oval stone that I made from the Happy Dotting Company molds, and it's the large one. And what I did was I just slapped on a bunch of paint and blobbed it on there, not being careful whatsoever, because I really wanted it to look like a rock. And I have to tell you, I have gotten as much joy out of doing the backgrounds of these stones that I've been bringing to you as much as the finished product or like the symbol or whatever it is that I'm painting on top of it. I really get a lot of joy out of doing these backgrounds because really you need something that sets off your design really nicely. And I really wanted this to look like a rock because if you saw the thumbnail, we're going to be painting a dragonfly. So most of the dragonflies that I see are either like near the water and they're hanging off of a maybe like a cattail leaf or stem or maybe some aquatic plants or lily pads, something like that. Or they're sitting on a rock, and that's because they're warming themselves. So I really wanted it to be on a rock. So I thought, I don't have any really nice, pretty stones. So let's make our own. So that's what I did. So just to catch you up, and I know I've been going pretty fast in the painting here, just to let you know, like this video was like an hour and a half and I had to cut it way down. So I'm sorry that I'm going so quickly, but then the colors that I used for the rock were, and you would have noticed I didn't put any base coat on it. I just went straight onto the rock. There's no primer or anything like that because I knew I'd be layering a bunch of different colors on top. So I would end up with a really nice base anyways. So what I used was the first one I used was neutral gray from Americana. Then I used some jungle green. Then I put on some rose cloud and Caucasian flesh from Delta. And I'm sorry, the jungle green was from DecoArt. And then some black. And then I used some metallic champagne to give it a little bit of glitter because you know when you really look at a rock sometimes it sparkles a bit. So I wanted to try to capture that, so that's why I put in the metallic champagne. And if you look how beautiful that rock is. And I'm telling you, when you see it resined at the end, it looks so much like a rock. Like I was so impressed with this. So definitely going to be doing this kind of a technique again. Maybe with having on a smaller oval stone or a smaller round stone and have like maybe a ladybug on it or a snail or something like that. But I know I'm going to have a lot of fun with this, especially doing stuff in the insect world. Um, so anyways, I went and I drew on the design that I wanted for my dragonfly. And I used my General's charcoal pencil. And now I'm just outlining it all in black. And this is just to basically give me a better idea as to where I want things to go and where I need to sponge and keeping in my lines because I'm dealing with a background that I've painted. So I really don't want to mess it up. So I thought if I did this first, then I sort of have lines to go with, kind of like in a coloring book, and you don't want to go out of the lines. However, I do. But I fix them up, and you'll see that later. But yeah, it's just to give me an idea as to where things need to go and all the different parts of the dragonfly. So now I'm going to use one of my blending brushes that I got from Amazon. There is a link in the description below. Sorry, my hand is in the way there. I guess that's a problem of being a lefty. But anyway, so the green that I'm using here is Happy Green from FolkArt. And then I'm using a little bit of the neutral gray and adding it into that third part just to give it a little bit of difference from the colors of his head and I guess we'll call it his neck, the ring around his neck. I don't know what it's called. I'm not very technical with the parts of an insect, so sorry. But anyways, so now I'm doing his tail, and I'm using Purple Dusk by Delta, and I'm just sponging it on, and I'm bringing it up into the third part of his body there, and then I'm bringing back some of the happy green to blend it all together because I really wanted it to be sort of the transition from the really bright green on his head and bringing it down to the really nice purple that I chose. Now I'm just putting on some light sources, and I'm doing all of this before I go back and do the detail work with my outlining brush in black. And the reason for this is because I knew that these parts are so small, I would never ever be able to get my paintbrush in there to blend out what I needed to with my blending brushes and all the details there. So I'm doing it beforehand. And it worked out just fine. I was okay with it and how it turned out. Actually, in all honesty, this is one of my favorite paintings so far. I really enjoyed doing this, and I can't wait to do some others. Like I said, I've got so many ideas floating around, and doing the idea of the rock, like making it look like a rock in the background. So I'm just continuing doing the light shading, I guess, or the light reflections all on the right side. And I'm also going to use the holographic glitter paint in the wings, and it's so beautiful. I had a viewer mention it a few videos ago, and made a suggestion to use it on a dragonfly. So that was the inspiration of this particular tutorial today. So thank you for making the suggestions. I do listen. I do try things out. And I really hope that you have as much fun doing this as I did. Even if you're painting along with me, or if you're just watching and then you're going to do it again later, it, whatever you do, just do you, like be you, and make sure that you use the paint colors that you have available to you. I give you the paint colors that I use so you can see the differences of color, um, or how they work with each other, that sort of thing. And all the colors will be listed in the description below, along with all sorts of other great information. So if you you watch the rest of the video and go check out the description below, there's tons of stuff in there, like places where I get my fine lining brush, from Amazon, where I get my dotting tools from the dotting center, and all of my molds that I get from the Happy Dotting Company, for making all of my rocks and stuff. So, and so much more. Like, honestly, that information I put there for you, so it's at your disposal. I do have other tutorials as well on how to resin, how to make your own stones using the Happy Dotting Company and the Ultra Cal 30. And I also have a couple on how to make your own fine lining brush and your own little blending brush. So those are available to you as well, amongst all sorts of other tutorials that I have available. I think I'm up to 93 videos in just over a year. So if there's something that's not in my repertoire, definitely let me know about it, and I'll see what I can do to get something posted. I'm always up for a challenge. I enjoy doing this, and I enjoy being the one that makes the mistakes so that you guys don't have to. And I just love reading your comments, and I love that I get to reach so many people in basically all over the world, not just locally. So I've been really busy. Had a lot of crafts shows that I had to do in the spring, and I'm settling down now for the summer as it's supposed to be arriving. It's still chilly here, but I'm looking forward to some longer days and sunshine and getting that vitamin D. But I do have a couple of big shows coming up in the fall. So I'm getting ready for those. And hopefully, I will have some more stuff up in my Etsy shop very shortly. I'm hoping within the next week or so. I've done a lot of painting in the last couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, back to what I've been doing as I've been chitter chattering away. I'm just putting on his front legs there. I also did his eyes, and I'm now going to be doing sort of like, I don't know what they are, like little pinchers, I guess, in the front. So I'm painting those right now. So those are just those little details that I was afraid I might lose, especially in that, what did I call it? His neck part. I don't know, but I put little lines in there too, just to give it more definition. So now I'm going in with the wings, and I want to make sure that I get them somewhat symmetrical. I'm not the best at that without doing measurements or that kind of thing, but this is a creature of nature, and nothing in nature is perfect. And that's why I love nature so, so much. So now I just go in and I put in all of the veins. It's similar to like butterfly wings, but they're not always identical on either side. Um, and so I just go in with my fine lining brush and some black paint, and I just make lines and make them sort of into sections or compartments or nothing specific, just, making them look like a dragonfly wing. And I do that on both sides. Again, they're not necessarily going to be identical from one side to the, not identical, symmetrical is the word I'm looking for. They may not be, and that's totally okay with me because, like I said before, Mother Nature's not perfect, and neither am I. So it's all about interpretation and being able to do the best that you can do. And that's all anybody can ever ask of you. So remember that. Um, and just have fun with it. Like play around. Don't and you don't have to do it on a rock. You can totally do this on canvas or on maybe a slab of wood that you've been holding on to, or um, even like a vase or something like that. Like the the painting to me is limitless. Whatever you can paint on it. And that's how you get your practice. That's how you get better at doing things, and it's just so much fun. And it's unique. It's one of a kind. No one else is going to have this, and it's what you created. That's the fun part of it all. So now that I've done the wings, I'm going to let them dry. And while I'm letting them dry, I'm going to put a shadow onto the rock. And I kind of do a kind of weird technique on this. So I'm I'm using my blending brush, my homemade one, and I'm just putting on some gray and black, and it's going on kind of dark, and it's a little bit darker than what I want it because if you look at shadows, shadows are transparent, but the closer they are to the ground, the darker they are. So I need to lighten this up. So as I get all the paint on there and it's still wet, I use my Q-tip. My Q-tip or cotton swab, I've dipped it into some water and I'm just sort of erasing it. I'm not pressing hard. I'm just letting the cotton swab do its work and remove the paint. And now it did remove a little bit too much, probably because the paint was still pretty wet. So I'm just going in and putting in some more of the shadow, but ever so lightly. And that's how I get the effect. So I do it for his wings as well. I guess it's going to be a he because I just said his wings. Um, so I'm going to do it for the wings as well, both on the right side and the left side. And I just do the same technique. So it's very simple, easy to do, and you get the shadow effect, which is the coolest part. So this is like one of those tips and tricks for you guys that that I like to give to you. It's easy to do for shadows by putting on, like right there, I was just putting on that neutral gray color, and then I'm just wiping away. And I want some of that residue to be left on the rock because, like I said, it's a shadow, and a shadow is more transparent the further away from the surface it is, or from the ground. So that's what the effect I'm trying to go for here. And I think I accomplished it fairly well. So here's that holographic stuff that I put onto the wings. Absolutely beautiful when it dries. And you'll see that in just a few moments. But thank you again for the suggestion. It was amazing. I'm going to be using this in more things I have ideas for. So thank you so much. And folks, I say this in every video, but if you like the video, make sure you give me that thumbs up. It's the best way to let me know that you like it and that I'm bringing content to you that you're enjoying. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe because I do try to bring out at least one video a week. And I do surprise you sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes with an extra video throughout the week. And if you don't want to miss anything, ring the bell. So very simple steps, guys. By letting me know with a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell. I also love to read all of your comments, so make sure you leave me a comment below. Let me know what your favorite part of this tutorial was. I'd love to read your comments. So I let this dry and I give it a coat of resin. So there you have it, folks. Life is what you make it. So get creative.